Good morning. Hello, this is Michelle. I'm your Theories of Play instructor, and I can't tell if that little recording symbol is blocking my um, face for you. Anyway, I'm happy to have you in Theories of Play, and I'm a playful person myself, as you can see. So uh, I'm looking forward to the semester, and please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. As I mentioned in my email announcement this morning, I am available by email most days because of my other coursework for the university. So I'm a pretty easy instructor to reach by email. If you have any issues at all, it's likely because I didn't receive your email, so do follow that directive in the syllabus and send me a text and say I'm a Theories of Play student trying to reach you by email, and tell me your name, and then I will email you and we'll get the conversation going that way. So hopefully that'll be helpful. What can I tell you about myself to introduce myself? I have been in the field of early childhood for most of my career in one way, shape, or form. I started out my career working in the special school district in St. Louis, which at that time separated kids out. This was before mainstreaming, so I'm an older teacher. And I had a sister who was identified as brain damaged at birth, and she had many, many physical concerns also. So she was my real first experience as a teacher, because I was the oldest and took care of her quite a bit. And then I grew up to want to be with other children like her and loved that work, and moved to Louisville then when I became a mother and my son was 4, and we moved here to Louisville, and I've been here ever since. That was 41 years ago now. And I'm very happy in Louisville. I love it here. My husband and I love to hike and walk and be outside, and we love music. We love a good movie. We love a good TV series, especially mysteries. We love whodunits. And we are grandparents to 2 children. One is 12, going to be 13 in December, and one is 8, going to be 9 in November. And we are very connected to them. They live 10 minutes away. We're so lucky. We get to spend a lot of time with them. As I mentioned, am the oldest, and I have 5 siblings, and I teach guidance and curriculum, so I may have you in class again. I hope so. I also teach and instruct in the CDA program for OVAC. And I was a teacher myself in the classroom for, oh my gosh, I think I calculated it at 40 years at some point. But I did want you to know that I have extensive in the classroom experience. And I rely on that heavily when I advise you and choose what to teach you, because I know the competencies you're going to need in order to have a good experience from translating what you learn in these courses to actual experiences in the classroom. And I want to tell you that I do know that that's a major thing. It's not a simple thing to understand. Okay, I learned this in class, but what does it really look like in the classroom? So I really focus heavily on what I know you need to know in order to do things as a teacher successfully. So every assignment, everything I ask you to read, the choice of the textbook I made, the choice of the videos I have you watch, all of that is with the idea in mind that you're going to need to know what to actually do when you get in the classroom. And the focus on play right now, thankfully, is very popular again. And so people like me who've been fighting to keep it for, through the whole period of early academics, are very happy to see that the research has borne out what we've always said, and that is that children have the right to play. And so you'll be looking at the United Nations statement about that in this course, but I want to emphasize that the focus on the class will be on a child's right to play and our understanding of the brain science that now exists, that backs up that belief. Some of us just knew it intuitively before the brain science and trusted in it, trusted in the child who was telling us, this is how I do things. I play. And then I figure things out when I play. And I might talk to you about what I'm figuring out, but I might not talk to you about what I'm figuring out for a very long time. So you may not be the teacher that ends up hearing about what happened in early childhood, because oftentimes these play experiences grow over time and children accumulate understanding and they filter things and then they relearn things and they make space for new ideas all the time. They are the geniuses, as we'll talk about in this class. So that will be my focus. It's my focus and has been for my whole career. I do have a strong background in working with children who've been identified as having autism. I've worked with children with all kinds of different medically diagnosed issues, everything from ADHD to, someone who has auditory processing to someone who doesn't hear at all. I live with someone who has a severe hearing impairment and can't hear without devices. So I have a lot of experience with processing in regard to auditory processing. I don't have as much experience with kids who have visual impairments. I have a little, but not as much. So I would need to refer you for help with that probably. I may be able to give you some advice, but I did want to let you know that. But ask me questions. I have a lot of background in children whose families represent the global majority, which we often refer to in our culture as English language learners. However, most of the experience I've had has taught me that, students who have that background actually most of the time speak more than one language, and that there are specific things we do for them to help. And certainly play is a huge part of language acquisition. So I wanted to let you know that. And I do have extensive experience with children who have developmental delays, reading issues, and some math issues. So, if you need some thinking on any of those things, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you. And I'm happy to have you in class. Welcome. And don't hesitate to be in touch, like I said.